Right now, African Bank's collapse dominated the news wires in August this year. Earlier today, I sat down with the curator of African Bank, Tom Winterboer, for an update.
Yeah, I'm very encouraged at what's happening at the branches. You know, people are very engaged, very committed. They are really enthusiastic, professional and so on. So it's very encouraging. You know, you walk into a branch, it's neat, it looks professional. So I'm really encouraged by what we see there. People know what products we have available, and so it's actually a very good news. It's almost the atmosphere there is just great to see.
And how has the business model evolved ever since the failure of African Bank to make sure that the good bank is on good standing?
Yeah, so the important thing is what we're going to do is the deal, the way it was structured, and that's one of the three things we're focusing on. So perhaps just to say you've got the deal firstly, secondly you've got the ongoing business, and thirdly you've got the future bank. So what the intention is to take the good business and roughly in terms of assets, it's about 29 billion of assets, net book value, that will transfer across to the good bank. And what we're also doing is across the whole population, then in terms of granting new loans, the credit criteria has been tightened, making sure that we lend to people who will pay us back. The volumes went down initially in August and September, as one could probably expect. We've launched a new committed campaign, and as I said earlier, in terms of our branch staff out there, they are very committed. And the volumes are now starting to pick up. They're still not at the levels where we want them to be, but in terms of a budget, we thought we're going to extend about 600 million of loans for October. We did give the people at the branches a target of 650, and it looks like we're going to end up at 670, 680, but we need to do more, but do more of good business.
Those initiatives having been rolled out, are you meeting your repayment or your collection targets?
Yeah, as I say, we're better, but than we expected. But we should still be better. We should start working much deeper into that, the sort of non-paying book. And actions are in place. So, people, as I say, made contractual arrangements to pay us, and they should stick with that.
Let's go back to the first pillar that you had raised and talk about the deal. We know that there was that 10 billion rand in terms of capital to be raised through that consortium. Have there been any hiccups in that particular process, and where are we?
Yeah, I think to take it one step back, as we've that capital will only come in on a listing, so they're underwriting that, and where we are with the process, and it sort of deals in part with the future bank. So future bank, we've actually submitted a new banking application for a new license for Good Bank, so that went in yesterday. So that's with the South African Reserve Bank to consider. They will probably have some questions and so on, as they would do normally with things like that. But what we've got in there is a business plan to demonstrate that there is a sustainable bank going forward. And then, going forward, a new board then needs to be appointed. We've got a short list of names, and we hope to have a board in place certainly by the end of next month, hopefully earlier than that. And that board then needs to appoint a CEO. So a lot of things in progress, but some of the things we've had to change in terms of the initial deal envisaged. We thought we're going to take the bad assets or the bad bank out of the bank as it stands, with the SARB putting in 7 billion. We're now going to keep that in the remainder of the bank, with the SARB giving that 7 billion as a facility, which is a much better position. But just to be clear, it was never anticipated that 17 billion goes out for 7 billion. And we believe that 17 billion is collectible.
And let's talk about the relisting that's been projected to happen early next year, and in particular, what needs to happen between now and then for you to tick all the boxes for that to go ahead.
Okay. So the first step in terms of that would be obviously to have submitted the banking license application, which we've done. The SARB then needs to go through the, consider that application. We need to make application to the Financial Services Board, and then also to the National Credit Regulator. Those applications are in progress, and then the following step would then, once those things are in place, we also need to conclude on the sale of Stan Gent to the new listed company. Evaluation is in progress at the moment. We have to have that finalized in the next days. We then need to make an offer to the, to ABIL as the shareholder of StanGen. And they need to be happy with it, and also as part of that they'll probably need to get a fair and reasonable opinion. It all then gets put together, if it's approved, to go into a new list go, and then start preparing for the application for a new listing on the JSE.
Now,